Hey guys, it's Dave. I'm going to go over some of the trades that I made last week. This starts with Caleris. I entered this on, well, firstly, just looking at it, short float is 12%. The reason why I liked it is looking, if we zoom out, this is obviously in a downtrend. This has gotten smoked from this distribution up here. Shorter term MAs were trending down. Now the 10 is kind of crossing the 20 EMAs, by the way. The 50 SMA and the 200 SMA are going down. So momentum is obviously going down. The market momentum is obviously going down. So I'm just trying to pair this with the overall market, right? Now, one thing that I also liked was that, yes, this area could have been a potential bounce spot, a bounce area, right? This 17-ish dollars. I like that it was accepting below here. And if it did, that is a lot of supply overhead. And I was targeting potentially around, I don't know, what is this? It's not showing the price off to the side. Around these levels here. Maybe it was at $9 or so. If I go to, this here. So if we zoomed out, maybe we can get to, well, that was way off, $7.50, maybe $6, even, potentially retest a 2. That would be wild. But that would take a long time, I would suspect. But either way, so I was looking at this, it's accepting below. It was at the time. We'll see what actually happens. If it starts moving away, this could be another good short. Either way, I entered on this day here, the Tuesday. I was looking at this consolidation here with the shorter term MAs trending downwards. It was respecting the 10. It just kept getting rejected out of the 10. I was looking for this little bounce here off of these lows and then a continuation down. I didn't have the best entry. Obviously, the next day it came up, but it did not close above that 10. So I held, and then we got a nice push down. I ended up closing on this red dot day, on this day with the red dot once it loads right here. I moved my stop loss up to 16.24 as price was down here. I wasn't going to let a green trade turn red on me, so I moved it up, and then I got stopped out. Obviously, it could have gone down, but look at it now. It is much higher than my exit. It is 9%, 8.5% higher than my exit. Now 7 if you want to go current price. So this is why you respect your stop losses. I made a very small, it was basically break even on this. Either way, the look was there. It just didn't continue on down. This is a look below and fail. For those of you that trade this regularly, I don't know anything about this business. Okay. I just want to be clear about that. We have a gap here. Oh, actually I lied. It's already been filled. Well, that's gap fill. Maybe, either way, this level here has been supply in the past. So if it wants more upside, I think it has to break 1790 before it continues on up. Maybe we get a 10, 20 EMA cross if you guys play that. Maybe it wants to respect the anchor VWAP from this low. If it pulls back, that could be a potential area of interest to set a higher low around 1670. Versus this low, that could be a nice risk of 1527 if you guys want to play that long. I'm not interested in that. I am not going long any names other than bounces, which I'll talk about shortly here. XRX, I have been in this trade since this day here. I took some profit somewhere down here. I didn't mark my greens. I think this is where I took profit at right here. It's set 6 and 50%. So if we, let me make this smaller again, XRX. So looking at the weekly here, this is obviously, it broke these lows, okay, downtrended. consolidated, broke those lows, consolidated, broke those lows. So basically it's breaking lows, consolidating, breaking lows, consolidating. It's following that pattern. And so what I was looking for was a break of these lows. It consolidated here, and then I was waiting for, this is basically a breakdown and a retest. And then once it broke these lows, this is when I entered. I think I entered on the 25th. And then I took profits on about 50% of my position. Is this the 25th here? Yeah, this is when I entered. I took 50% of my profits here, moved my trailing stop loss up to 714. That was basically the this high. So if this creates a higher high, then it's going to be broken. Now what I'm going to do today actually is I'm going to move this trailing stop loss. I'm going to add another one. I'll just keep track of how many trailing stop losses I have. And I'll make it green because I'm in the green. I'll move that to 681. What's a high? 680, 680. Yeah. It's looking like it wants to push lower as it's consolidating near these lows. So if this breaks 627, I might have a continued runner, maybe retest that 607 level again. Either way, it's hitting the 10 EMA here again and was rejected on Friday. I held throughout that entire like 10% move up, which is pretty wild. But it's been rejected. It's weak overall. So I'm just holding this and let it run because this trade, I'm trying to let it work for me. SMTC, it is what it is on this one. I didn't manage this one very well. This was a trade that I entered on Friday, simply because same look, it was breaking down. I was looking at this here. So let me do that. It is that level that I was watching. Let's call it 36. It broke that low. And I was looking for kind of like a breakdown and a retest, and it didn't necessarily get that. So that's the overall look. Short float is 10%. This is one of the names that I got smoked on at the beginning of the year while I'm down 30%. And it just continues to get smoked. So now everything is pointing down. It's accepting below the 200 SMA. Things are starting to curl downwards. I'm short biased on this. I'm not in it anymore. I literally exited today. And I'll go over why. But the nice thing is you can always get back in, which I am contemplating on doing. So what happened on Friday? This was that breakdown day. Okay, on that Thursday, it broke down for, I think that was the right date here. Yeah. And so I have an anchored VWAP from that day. And what happened is on this day, this was the Friday 9:30 open. It couldn't even get up to the anchor VWAP from the day that it broke down, right? And so on the daily on Friday, what I did is when it broke the low of days, low of day on Friday, that's when I entered. And the stop loss was at the high of day at that point in time. So it was at 33.10. So I had a nice trade. I entered it. I went on a hike, literally went outside on a hike and stopped monitoring it. And then unfortunately, it came back and I gave back some pretty decent gains. If I were to pay attention, what I would have done is I would have moved my stop loss up to down here to lock in my profits and gains, because this is position building here. And that's a pretty obvious sign in my opinion. Hindsight's always 20/20. But selling was slowing down here. And so I would have moved and take my gains and made it a day trade instead of swing trade. But I didn't pay attention, and so I didn't have access to internet. So I held over the weekend. We got a nice gap down today. And then I put a VWAP. So I was following today's VWAP. It came down to the anchored VWAP from Thursday. Is that Thursday? Nope, sorry. Friday, and Friday's low bounced off of it. So typically that's like, well, that low might hold. That's what I typically see. So I closed around here, 32.50, as price was moving above the daily VWAP, as buyers were getting back in control. I didn't want this to continue to run up. If we're pretty sold off on the SPY, I didn't want to get caught in a stronger bounce, so I closed my position. However, now it's back under my entry level. I would be in the green if I held through all of this, but I didn't. And here we are. So looking right now, we have some trapped longs up above here. All like Brian Shannon, I follow him a lot. Bounces are guilty until proving innocent. So when the 5 SMA is pointing downwards, which in this case it is, also the short-term 10 EMA, we have this supply overhead. And now even on the shorter term, we have this little short-term supply ahead now. Sellers are back in control from Friday's low, from Friday, from Thursday, the liquidation day, the break of low days. This is now looking like a short again to me. So I might actually enter this again. We shall see what the end of the day will bring. But even if it breaks these lows, I might enter here. So yeah, that's what I do with SMTC. Overall short bias, just poor management on my end with this. And yeah, that's that. Tesla, I have a couple of trades that have failed continuously. I am a long-term investor in Tesla. I have a pretty decent average, and it's been a little shitty to watch all of this come back down, but you know, is what it is. It's what I choose. It's a game I choose to play. So my first trade on Tesla was back here. I bought beautifully right at the top on this day here. On Thursday, my stop loss was at the low of that day. The next day, or actually, you know, I didn't like how it closed. It closed near my stop loss. I didn't want to risk a gap down, and so I closed that day. The next day, it gapped down, ran down, and then got bought up. And so once it passed my exit position, I entered again around the 280 level. I had a decent size. I probably should have taken some. So poor short-term management on my end again. I should have taken some up here, hit the downtrending 5-day SMA. So proven guilty until proven not, or whatever it is. And so, you know, it rejected again and made a lower low. So my stop loss on that trade was this 273. I closed a little bit under it because, I don't know, I think it was just when I opened that market, that's when I got sold off. And then I attempted another one today. So I am now 0 for 3 on these bounce plays for Tesla. This one was silly me. I did... see, I made it my stop loss at 236. Let me just draw a horizontal line there, red line. So I entered here. I was watching this level here, this 242. I keep doing this and I need to stop. It didn't even break daily VWAP. Sellers are in control here. It found supply at the VWAP right when I freaking bought. It was pretty stupid of me. But I was looking for a bounce. I was looking for a break of the VWAP. What I should have done is wait for the break of VWAP, then wait for the retest, and then wait for it to push back away. It's just a breakout retest just of the daily VWAP. I didn't do that. So I bought in anticipation of a bounce because just simply how sold the market is right now, how sold Tesla is right now. But it obviously didn't work out. And I got stopped out at 236, which is why we respect our stop losses, because now it is currently 4% lower. So, yep, I'm trading to stay alive at the moment. Yeah, I'm not trying to hold any long-term multi-day swings or multi-week swings, that is. A couple days, 2-3 days, that'd be nice to catch a short-term momentum bounce play. It's just not freaking working. The Tesla might be going to 200. I don't know, but it's working on filling this gap right now. It's working on filling the rest of that gap. So let me color that green. And then a unfilled gap up. But it's sure as hell working on it. So, this might be going to 215. This could be going to 200. Either way, I'm still a long-term holder of Tesla. Not financial advice. None of this is ever financial advice. However, I don't doubt Elon Musk. And, if you guys are going to go all crazy, and if you're watching this video, just leave the politics out of it, okay? I'm a long-term holder. End of story. Yeah, that's that. I am thinking about going short SMTC again. We'll see what the end of day brings, if it wants to sell near its lows, or if we get a short covering rally, because most of the day has been selling. If we look at the SPY right now, let's see what's it doing. Even if we look at the 5, yeah, it's still grinding downwards. It found supply at the VWAP here around 11:30, 11:35 today. So I wait for it to base a little bit intraday. It's hitting the anchored VWAP currently right now from the April 24 lows. It's broken this 565 level here. So it's at a potential level of interest. It's not holding these highs so far. I would look for another bottoming tail or something like that. I have a downtrend line being drawn. Next, maybe we're going to head down this way. Potentially. I don't know. We shall see. Just